This could be a very bad situation should it come to fruition. So guys, the FBI Director Christopher Wray is warning us yet again of another possible attack. Now, this attack we've all been waiting for, or rather we know that it's coming. It's just a matter of time. But supposedly the Chinese are gaining, or rather waiting for the right opportunity to attack the United States infrastructure via cyber attack. So again, he sits in front of a committee in DC and he talks about the possibilities of this happening. And he states that it's a greater possibility more now than ever than before. So obviously years before, when he warned us about it, it was bullshit. I don't know. But still, guys, the problem we're seeing is that we know this is coming. And again, it's just a matter of time. And a lot of us know what to do. We're going to talk about what to do a little later in the video. But my issue with Christopher Wray warning us yet again about another attack that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. It's going to happen. It's just probably not anytime soon. Again, something like this, a cyber attack like this, guys, will catch us off guard no matter when it happens. Though a lot of us know that it can happen at any moment, it's still going to catch us off guard. It could happen right now. It could happen 20 years from now. We're never going to know. But the best thing to do is always be ready for an all-out cyber attack that can shut down the country. Now, he states that they're planning to do something on that scale, to shut down the country and attack its infrastructure from within, cyber attack. Now, the only thing that gives him a little credibility on this warning is that a day or two ago, the 911 system was attacked in multiple states, and it was shut down, so people weren't able to make phone calls. Now, that in itself, just attacking the 911 system in any major city, let alone smaller towns, is a problem. Because now, if someone was to call 911, let's just say here in New York City, because their loved one's having a heart attack or tripped and fell and hit their head, if the 911 system's down, help's not coming, that person in turn is going to die from either A, bleeding out, or not getting medical treatment. So there is one way to attack a country. It's just shutting its 911 system down. And then you take out the power. Now, obviously, if you take out the power, the 911 system will be affected. But if you shut the 911 system down completely and hit the power, you threw mayhem in the country and you sparked off an inner war, if you will, or chaos without ever striking the match. Because the Chinese, all they have to do now is sit back, relax, and go, watch these people fall apart. Because that's what's going to happen if you did something like that. If you just hit the 911 system, people would adapt. People are like, shit, the 911 system's not working. Quick, get grandma off the ground and take her to the hospital. However means you have to do that. Now, people who live in tall buildings, that's going to be a problem. Because if grandma weighs 300 pounds, good luck getting that big bitch out of the door, let alone down 16, 20, 30 flights of stairs. And then you got to carry her to the hospital. But if it's a small child or a frail old woman or old man, you can carry them down the 16 or 30 flights and then carry them over to the hospital. And if you have somebody with you, you guys can take turns. So undoubtedly, guys, if the 911 system was to be attacked here in New York City, a lot of people would die. Like, without fail, because there's just certain situations that people do not know how to overcome, and every situation is an overcomable situation, if that's even a word. It's a situation that you can overcome because you just got to think, all right, how are we going to tackle this situation, and then you're going to tackle it. But when people are thrown in a tizzy or frazzled, thought process goes out or shuts down, and people don't know how to tackle the situation, and then people die. And that's normally what would happen, not normally, but that's what would happen in an all-out shit hits the fan scenario. People would stop thinking, they would stop thinking how to get out of the situation, and they would clamor up and die. Now, when the 911 system was shut down, at first, they were using some BS excuses as it was a glitch in the system. Somebody mentioned that the cables might have been cut for the 911 system. Keep in mind, The 9/11 system being shut down was in Nevada, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They denied the fact that it was a cyber attack, but then later came out saying that it was possibly a cyber attack. No shit. No kidding. There's no way that 3 different states, guys, gets hit with the same system or same shutdown, if you will, and then turn around and go, well, they cut the cables. Really? In 3 different states? Anyway, still in all, guys, they were trying to get away from it. They were trying to get away from using an excuse or using what the cause was, which was a cyber attack, and going with some dumb shit. And I don't know why they would lie about that. I'm not sure why they lied about it. Nonetheless, guys, this lends to Christopher Wray talking about how the cyber attack coming from China is possibly going to shut this country down. Now, we all know that. As preppers, I think this is something that we should definitely be preparing for, because if this happens, guys, you are completely on your own. Medically, you're on your own. Security-wise, you're on your own. And forget about food. If they shut down the country the way I think they're going to shut it down, you're on your own with food as well. So this is why a lot of us talked about you need a week or 2 worth of food. Now, if you've been prepping for a long time, you better have more than a week or 2 worth of food. You should have probably up to a year. Now, if you're just starting out, don't aim for a year today. Don't go to the store and start shopping left and right to gain a year's worth of food. Don't do that. Start building it up, because again, this could happen tomorrow, or this can happen 20 years from now. And in that case, if it's 20 years from now, start stocking now. Don't have 3 days, don't have a week, have at least a month. Yeah, a month to start with. And a month is not hard to get. But if you are stricken with money, then go a couple of days at a time. Build up your food supply and go, all right, we have a full 2-3 days worth of food in the cupboard or wherever you store it. And then next week you go shopping. All right, now we have 6 days worth of food. And start doing it that way if you are financially stricken. But if you're not, try to go for a week at a time. Try to get enough food for a week at a time. And how you're going to do that is you're going to sit down and you're going to calculate it. Don't go to the supermarket and then right off the top of your head, think what you might need for a week. Know what you might need for a week. So grab a pen and paper, rather a pad, and write out how much you eat a day. And if you have a family, calculate the family in there as well. How much you eat, the wife eats, the kids, and the dog if you have a pet. Always include the dog. And when you go through you start doing the math, guys, you go, all right, I eat about twice a day, and this is how much I eat. Then you're going to sit there and go, well, how much calories do I need to sustain myself? Not calories, guys, to build muscle, not calories to lose weight, but calories to sustain yourself, and that's the caloric intake you're probably going to want to hit day to day. Now, some of us can go a day or 2 without eating. That's fine. Just make sure it doesn't weaken you to the point where you can't operate or jump into action when you have to. But your caloric intake is important. But if, let's just say, you're eating, I don't know, 3 cans of Chef Boyardee, which I don't know why you would, but in case that you are, if you're eating those cans a day, you're going to multiply 3 cans a day times 7, and that's what you should be collecting every week, so that you give yourself a week's worth of food every time you go out. Now, obviously, if you have wife and kids, that 3 times 7 is now going to be 3 times 3 people, wife and your child, times 7. And then you're going to come up with that amount of cans you might need to collect. Now, keep in mind, you're going to want to collect other things that you're going to eat. Don't buy things you're not going to eat. If you're not going to eat Spam, do not buy Spam. If you don't eat Chef Boyardee, don't buy Chef Boyardee cans. Buy food you're going to eat. Buy freeze-dried goods if you can. Nutrient Survival, which I'm going to put a link to their sales in the comment section below. Or Peak Refuel, I'll put a link to the Amazon link where you can get Peak Refuel. They're really good as well. Again, and Backpacker Pantry. I use that for camping. That's pretty good. Peak Refuel is expensive. Nutrient Survival has sales. And Backpacker's Pantry is in the middle of the road as far as cost goes. So look at that as well. Just don't only get canned goods. If you have a farm, guys, you're squared away. If you have land, you're good to go. But if you live in an apartment such as myself, you're going to have to stick with canned goods, freeze-dried goods, and MREs. All right, guys, other than that, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.